Today we wrap up our week of road tripping in Mason City. And as Matt Hamill found out, if you're a fan of musicals, you understand why every Iowan needs to visit the hometown of Professor Harold Hill.
From the pale green house on South Pennsylvania Street, you can almost hear the family band gathered around the piano belting out the ragtime. All three kids played instruments, but the baby of the bunch seemed especially talented.
I'm Sharon Olson, and I'm your tour guide, Meredith Willson House.
The Music Man. His boyhood home takes you on a magical journey of this Mason City native son.
This is where Meredith was born.
Sharon says family members joked he was famous even in his crib at 14 pounds 7 ounces, the biggest baby ever in Iowa. Mom and Dad frowned on sports, but filled this house with music.
Last roll that's left.
An old roll of Stars and Stripes Forever foreshadows Wilson's first big job, playing flute with John Philip Sousa. But through his success, Meredith Willson never forgot where he came from, returning often to see family and friends, and even march down Main Street.
He led the Mason City High School band down in the band festival, so it was just wonderful.
The sheet music is an instant reminder of his claims to fame, but Sharon says as you wander the Willson home, you realize his work is still popular for very good reason.
They were fun-loving. They were about times that were good times. We need something like this to bring us back.
Right outside the back door, the Music Man himself is still marching on the streets of Mason City in front of his museum.
I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marion, heaven help us if the library caught on fire.
All your best memories of the movie with Robert Preston and Shirley Jones are right here. Music Man Square recreated the streets and storefronts down to the detail. Chief Executive David Victorek says they made sure.
The streetscape is a replica of the movie set for Warner Brothers. The Mason City Foundation paid Warner Brothers for the copyright. And part of that set, an important part, is the pool hall, of course.
Trouble! Oh, we got trouble! Right here in River City! Right here in River City! With a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool!
Here you'll find at least 76 trombones and the actual piano where he composed his hits. Notice Willson famously hated piano stools and sat in a chair. From there, this Iowa kid wrote some of the most popular musical numbers in history.
But Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, my home sweet home.
One for Opie.
This is from the show The Music Man.
One that even some lads from Liverpool loved.
There were bells on a hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all till there was you.
And another that's still a holiday standard.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go.
But in Music Man, Willson pays loving tribute to his hometown so convincingly that Professor Hills and Marions from high school and community theaters all over the world migrate to the Mecca in Mason City.
The Music Man played as a revival in Great Britain recently, and so we hosted so many folks from England who had a part of their local productions of The Music Man.
In the end, Meredith Willson was just writing the soundtrack to his life. It's about faith, small-town values, redemption, and happy endings.
Here you are, Winthrop.
My cornet. Gee, thanks, Professor.
We believe this community still has those same characteristics, and we think that's why, with the presence of the wonderful architecture we have here, we believe that's why so many tourists come to visit River City.
And will for a very long time. We're road tripping to Music Man Square in Mason City. I'm Matt Hamill.